Hello, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, thanks for joining me. My name is Karina, and for today's video, since Valentine's Day is literally around the corner, I wanted to put together 3 DIY gift ideas for that special person. Anyone, your girlfriend, boyfriend, sister, friend, you name it. You can put together this DIYs for them. So if you want to see how I did 3 different DIYs, stick around. Let's get started. The inspiration for the DIY projects we're going to work on for this video were giant candies. I knew that I didn't want to give just regular Valentine's Day gift bags to my niece and sisters. So I figured that I would get inspired by those giant candies that are very popular nowadays and take some different bowls and put all the little items I purchased for them inside of it and create giant candies. So that's what we'll do for this video. For the first giant candy, you'll need bowls, you'll need tape, some type of yarn string to tie it up, scissors, and a clear basket bag. All of this can be found at the dollar store. That's where I purchased the bowls as well as the basket bag. And I'm just removing all the little labels that it came with. Literally, this is all you need besides tissue paper, and I'll show you why I ended up using tissue paper. But you'll just take the little bowls, start organizing the little stuff that you purchased, and just organize it however you want. But then, once I was done adding everything in, I tried to close the little bowls and everything was a mess. So I figured I would take some tissue paper and add it to the bowls because that helped keep the little stuff in place a little bit better or more secure, and it was easier to bring them together and close it. So it's not necessary, but I feel that it just works better, especially if it's not super packed. Maybe if it was super packed with items, it would have closed easier, but anyway. Then you just literally put them together and tape them so that they don't move around, and that is it. Voila! Now, what's left to do so that it actually looks more realistic like a giant candy, you'll take your basket bag, and I was going to open it and place the candy inside of it, but since it's so big, I realized it wasn't necessary and that it would work better actually if I just kept it like it was and just roll the candy over it. Does that make sense? You'll see here at the video. And just start rolling, put some tape, secure it, and roll. And that's about it. Then you'll take some of your yarn and then tie the ends. And that's what makes it look like more like a realistic candy, a giant candy. When I was tying the giant candy with this plain string, it was okay and I could have left it like that. But I realized that it needed a little spark. So I went into my craft bin and found this sparkly ribbon, which I love, and I like how it looks next to that purple. And it just gave the giant candy what it needed, that little sparkle. And you can technically use any type of ribbon that you want. And ta-da, that was the final look for that one. Moving along to the next giant candy, which is for my younger sister. She's obsessed with Squishmallows. So I know I wanted to give her a Squishmallow, so I needed bigger bowls for this giant candy. You're literally going to use the same exact items that we used for the last candy. It's just different size of bowls. I did take some tissue paper for this one as well. I wish I would have had more hard tissue paper, but I didn't. So I had to improvise and get some white tissue paper and then literally just start adding the Squishmallow, the candy. She's obsessed also with Reese's. So it was all Reese's for her, some stickers, and then you're technically done. You just close the tissue paper, put the other bowl on top, and then take some tape and seal it all up so that it doesn't go anywhere. Once you have all that secure in tape, you're going to take the basket plastic bag and put the giant bowls inside of it. Now here I was struggling trying to figure out how am I going to make it look like a giant candy with the size of this bag and the cutout. So I ended up moving it around, trying to figure out what would work best, and then realized that the best thing to do was to actually flip the bowls, and you'll see, flip them and then tape each side to the middle. And then I was going to have to cut one of the sides that was not open of the bag, and that's how I was going to be able to bring it together. And I'll show you in the next slide. Once I was done cutting the other end of the bag, I can take my string and tie the ends so it looks like a giant candy. Thankfully, there was enough bag at each end because I didn't even measure to see if it looked even, but I think it looks pretty good. Then again, I realized that just having that little string was not enough. So I found this nice red ribbon, lace ribbon, and it gave it the perfect touch because it pulled those reds from the little hearts inside. And that was it for the second giant candy. I really, really like this one, and I know my sister's going to love it. Last giant candy is my favorite, and I actually got the inspiration from TikTok, so thank you, TikTok. And I took my bowls, I took some heart paper that I'm actually reusing from some flowers I got, so use your resources wisely, and then literally just added all the little items that I was gifting my niece. This is for my niece. So then once I have that all secure how I wanted to take that paper and close it up, but I don't know what type of texture it is, and I was having some hard time doing that, as you will see. But basically same steps as the other giant candies. You'll bring together your bowls. Now for this one, it's very important that you actually line them up so that it can close perfectly fine. So you want to make sure that those bowls are lined up together, and then you'll take some tape and just secure them just like you did with all the other giant candies. Now that we're done taping our bowls, we can put those to the side and move along to the next part of this giant candy. The inspiration is for it to look like a giant ring pop, and that's why we need this round styrofoam wreath and the paint to paint that green away. And I decided to go with this pink. I thought it would go well with that blue and that pink paper. You can actually spray paint the wreath if you want to, but I ended up painting mine. It took me about 2 coats if I remember correctly, and I let it dry overnight for the second coat, and you'll see me paint away here. Once my wreath was dry, I realized that I made 2 errors, and just FYI, if you're recreating this, don't make them as I did. But if you wanted to realistically look more like a giant ring pop, you will cut that little part where you see the outline of the wreath. It already gives you an outline to cut it so that it opens up a little bit more and it looks more like a ring pop. But I didn't do that, and I didn't want to cut that out once I already painted it. However, another part that I miss is that you're supposed to actually, before you paint it, cut out some part of your wreath, whichever side you want it to be the top part of your ring pop, and create like a soft, or yeah, like a flat, not soft, a flat surface for you to actually glue that plate over. Hope that makes sense. So you want to do all of that before you paint. And here I didn't get to show you guys how I took my glue gun and glued the wreath to the plate, but I think it's self-explanatory. But you'll see here I'm just connecting it all together or gluing it all together, and that is your giant ring pop. I wish I would have used a larger plate, but we're just going with the flow here, and you get the point. And I think it's super cute. I love it, and I know my niece is going to love it as well. And just like that, we've created 3 giant candies to gift for Valentine's Day for your special ones. Which one was your favorite one? I think my favorite one was the ring pop, but I love them all. Tell me which one's your favorite in the comments, and please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. Your support means a lot to me, and I love making videos like this for you guys. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, bye! Happy Valentine's Day!